In a world where the podcast multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little, two dudes must become something greater than themselves, something elemental, something terrifying. A podcast. With great podcasting, there must also be great responsibility. To show the multiverse that it's full of people ready to believe in good. The multiverse will hunt us. They will send the dogs on us, because that's what needs to happen. But it won't be ready to hear from us. Not us, united. What? See, I'm just transitioning right in. What was the last movie draft you were a part of?
I was in 2015, so I'm just back-to-back years here.
Okay. Yeah. Good to know. Because we did a Christmas movie draft in between, so it's been a little bit of a hiatus from this. So I was trying to which one.
You did one, and then I was like, Michael, you should do one. And he was like, I already did it. And I was like, oh, I thought I had like a really good idea.
I think the day after we came up with the idea, Christine was like, hey, what about this awesome idea? And I'm like, yeah, that is a great idea.
Yeah, Christmas movie draft.
Yeah, and so Christine's the reason why we did that. We'll just say.
Oh, sure. Retroactively.
Retroactively giving me all the credit.
Yeah.
There it is.
I appreciate the love.
Yeah, of course. Well, we're getting a lot of love from our fans here, all of you listening. You've clamored. You've wanted to go back to the original format of a movie draft. We've heard you. We've listened, and you know what? We're back. We're united, as they say.
Yes.
We're joined again by my lovely, wonderful sister, Christine.
Yes. Hello.
And also, Nick is here, too.
Yes. The co-founder.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Established 2021.
Yeah. And this year, what are we doing here?
Hey, who knows?
We're doing the year of 2014.
Yes.
And oh boy, is there a lot going on this year.
There is. And even historically, this was a wild year for your boy, Nick.
No, let's dive into what you were doing then.
I was getting hitched.
Huh.
A good year.
Will Smith? Huh.
It was a good year, yep. And this was a very memorable year. Talking to many people about their memories of movies in 2014 as well. And it's like, oh my gosh, I think I watched like 30 movies this year.
Yeah.
Because this was the year we all just went to a bunch of movies, it feels like.
Yeah, looking at this list, I'm like, this is a lot of movies that I saw in theaters.
Yeah.
And just in general, like, this whole list, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of movies on here.
Uh-oh, it's Christine.
Not me. No.
She was like, I didn't go to the movie theater.
Not 2014. I was like, oh, I haven't seen that. You haven't seen that. I've heard of that. I saw half of that.
I don't know if we're looking at the same years here, because like I feel like a lot of these movies we've talked about before.
Maybe in retrospective, we've gone back and watched them.
I've gone back and watched a lot. So 2014, I would have been in college, so I didn't really have a lot of free time.
Yeah, I was in college too, and I did. So that shows you the difference. What did you graduate with as a GPA?
Well, it wasn't a good GPA, but I was in science.
Okay, fair enough. I was also in science and not a good GPA, so who knows?
Yeah, I was also in science and had a good GPA, let's just say.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't see a lot on here. I was like, oh, I have no movies on my list, y'all, so it's going to be a rough day for me.
Interesting.
We had Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, a lot of these movies, I think, are on my radar because of you. So...
Maybe I just have a terrible memory.
I think you own 4 of these movies on here.
I own... What
We've watched like 6 of these movies together.
Yeah, but there's 4 categories and 3 of us.
That is true. That is one thing to remember too at this draft is that our top 5 picks could all be action adventure. And so now we have to just pick something in drama, you know? Like,
yeah.
Yes.
And I got one category with 2 things in it. So you know what? I'm really...
Boy.
Hopefully we get to go before you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, to remind everyone, our categories are 6, and they are thusly. They are action, adventure. They are comedy, musical.
Sure.
They are horror thriller.
Mm-hmm.
They are drama and
Mm-hmm.
drama adjacent. What else is in that category?
Academy Award winning.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if it's nominated for an Oscar, it automatically counts.
Yeah.
We got my counts.
We got best sequel, and then we got a good old Nikki Cruz Wildcard.
Wildcard, you got it.
I love me a wild card. Got a lot. I got a lot in there.
It can redeem your picks.
We should do an all Wildcard year.
Oh,
Just pick whatever 5 movies you want.
that's what Christmas draft was. It was
That's
just
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, it seems like getting married. I was going to say, what else did you do? But that seems like
yeah, it was a pretty
negating
big deal.
I mean, that's the only thing on the list.
Yes.
Number one.
I was still a senior in college, so we got married last semester of college.
Right.
And so it was really fun to go to like syllabus week, and they're like, what's an interesting fact about you? And it's like, I'm getting married in 3 days. And everyone's like, what? I was going to say that I like dogs. So that was super fun. And we were very money conscious, so it was one of those where we got married, went back to school like on Monday, and then like did a honeymoon like in January.
Nice.
So after I graduated, but no, it's a good time.
Yeah, right on.
Definitely recommend. Well, if I could review Marriage, 10 out of 10. Best movie of my life.
So far, 10 out of 10. No complaints.
Yes.
Well, to be completely counter of that, I just started college in 2014. I graduated high school in May 2014. I just started a little baby Michael, little Mikey Z in his A.
Baby brother.
That's what they call him.
That's what
he calls himself.
Yeah, I just started college, and that was a whole experience in and of itself.
Yeah.
So true. And yeah, Christine, you were.
I was a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
So we just had the 1, 2, 3 here. We were like 2 years
we're all
apart from each other.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know you guys were so close in age.
Oh, we close.
Oh, we tight.
Oh, we tight.
In some ways, I always feel like when I'm doing a movie draft with you guys, like it's me versus both of you.
The 2 of us.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, Michael's right. Next question.
Yeah, she's like, you picked that one? Okay, Christine gets the
David
point.
versus the Zaval.
There's There's one movie on here that I'm like, okay, Michael, I see you. Do you see me? Because I see you. I don't know.
I don't know. This definitely ones where I'm like, dang, I know Christine might pick this one.
I have to just play you against each other. That's my only strength and hope.
Yeah. You're like, Michael said that Interstellar was good. And I would be like, Michael, our brother-sister bond is over.
This Interstellar, as we have fans of the podcast will know, is our only contention between Christine and I is that she absolutely despises Interstellar, and I think it is at least okay. And
at least okay.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's very good. But someone else on this podcast currently talking,
who just happens to be the oldest. Well,
the oldest doesn't make you the wisest.
Also, he's married and like graduated with some GPA.
Graduated with a random
a GPA, a number of some kind.
GPA. Yeah.
I also got a GPA.
That's fair. We all got a GPA. That's fair.
Yeah. No, 2014. I was in the middle of college. That was it.
Living your best life.
Yeah. I was thriving at
yeah.
What, 20? I think I turned 21 this year. I turned 21 this year. Yeah.
Big 2-1.
What was your first drink?
I'll let you know when I remember what it was.
Oh, it was a good night then.
It must have been a good one. Nice.
You go to what was that place in Tucson we went to with that big old fishbowl or whatever?
Oh yeah, there's this. I live in Tucson, and there's this.
Sorry, I called you out on this.
That's okay.
You live in.
It's all right. And I went to college in Tucson, so figure it out from there. There's this bar on the corner that has like a tiki hut lounge thing, and they have what's called fish bowls, and it's like a gallon worth of just alcohol.
What's up?
Yeah,
and there's like no actual not alcohol in it. It's like alcohol mixed with alcohol.
And it's blue. Yeah, they just have blue.
It's blue.
It's like juice,
yeah.
And it's just so sweet, and you're supposed to share it with a bunch of people, but you end up sharing it with like 2 other people, and then someone holds it all night, and you're like, oh, I guess I'll drink this myself. And that was me. I was that person.
Hey, nice. 21.
Michael, do you remember your first drink?
I do. I went to a Japanese place called Karma in
very good
Strange Cities. I was in Flagstaff at the time. Christine has been there with me. And I had a sake for my first drink.
Yeah. I'm not a big sake fan. Yeah.
Neither am I now.
Never
it's
tried.
okay.
I'm
it's
curious.
All right. It's solid.
Okay.
It's kind of like a lighter shot. It's not like as strong as like a vodka or something, but like there's a sweeter one, and then you can do like sake bombs with them. So I think that's pretty good. You can have them warm, which is interesting.
Yeah. When I was in college, they had $1 sake bomb nights. I've never seen it more crowded in a bar before.
Yeah.
And
Nicholas, what was your first drink?
Mine was the critically acclaimed Wisconsin beer, Spotted Cow.
They're going to say PBR, but
never had it, but I trust it's good.
PBR's classic, your classic hams, all the old grandpa beers. But
I don't know any of those things you're talking about.
Spotted Cow was my original beer.
Okay, is that like a Midwest trash beer?
It's a weird. No, it's not like craft beer, but it's like solid. Like it's weird. There's like a weird Iowa like obsession about it. Like if you ever go through Wisconsin, you have to get a 6-pack of it because it's like apparently like
delicious.
So I was like, I don't know. I still haven't acquired the taste for beer, but I got to do a Spotted Cow for my first one. So
hey, there you go.
That's what's up.
Okay, well we'll have to. Can you get them here, or do you have to go to Wisconsin?
You do have to go to Wisconsin.
Okay, well, I guess we're all doing a road trip. We'll meet you
Wisconsin.
All right.
I'll be there. Hold on. Right. Let me catch a plane.
Oh, man. Well, sounds like lots of different things going on in 2014.
Wow.
Now that we've bonded and had a nice conversation, let's tear each other down.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Nick, would you like to refresh us on the rules of what's going on?
Ground rules are simple. 6 picks. Snake draft rounds. So first pick will go first. Second pick will obviously go second. Whoa. Third pick will snake around and get both picks 3 and 4, and then it goes back to the second person, and then the first person will do the fifth or
6th and 7th,
the 5th and 6th picks.
Right? Yes.
No, 6 and 7. You're right.
I was right.
And so we're just going to do that way. And so getting first could, obviously, you get the advantage of maybe getting what you would say is the best film, but going last gets you 2 picks, and you've already kind of see your opponent's hands. So there's strategy, especially in a year like this where there's many films.
There's a wide field.
Is there a best film this year? I feel like they're all the same to me.
Like I don't think there's a number one, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, no one stands out to me.
I think there are just some that are like on sheer just like value of like what it did. I think it probably stands the test of time as like that's probably the best one. But I think this is such an entertaining year that I'm curious to see like what our honorable mentions are, or even just like some of our favorites from this year, because I think even if you get into like if you look up the top movies that came out this year, you can get into like pick 250 in popularity and still be like, that was still pretty good. And I actually might have liked that the most, even though the majority would say that this is like the most popular film of that year.
This was a list that I did find myself going pretty deep into, like the list of how many, like we go through a list of IMDb movies out of 2014. And usually I go to like 100, 150 and I stop recognizing names, but like I was like 200, I'm like, I still know, or I've even seen some of these. So I don't think a lot of those made it to my list, but I think it's a very, I have like, I think I counted 26 movies that I could pick right now.
Yeah. It also led to me realizing a couple movies that I had wanted to watch this year, and there was like, oh, I missed it, and then just forgot about them forever. Yeah. And so I want to revisit them, but also led me to this little movie called Wolves, which I know none of you will pick because I looked at it and it's obviously going to be a trash movie. But it's Jason Momoa.
Let's go.
And it's a young boy, not Jason Momoa, but a young boy finds his himself running away from home or something, and stumbles into a town full of werewolves. And Jason Momoa, I think, is one of them. So I'm like, I'm here for it. I need to see it.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Next,
it's not going to be on my list, but I'm watching it. It's on Amazon Prime. It's happening. But it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
I'm going to watch it right after this.
Let's just say maybe people want to watch that, and maybe we'll review it next week on the podcast.
I think we should just. I mean, I would be okay with just doing a Jason Momoa podcast.
Oh, that would be a good idea. Just
Aquaman.
Yeah, we'll just have a picture of it in front of us while we talk.
Jason Momoa edition.
I'll just talk about how great he was in Star Trek.
Like a movie draft off people.
Are we? We're riffing right now. I like this. Jason Momoa, the movie draft. Look out, fans.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Because if we're doing Jason Momoa, Tom Cruise is not far behind.
Not too far behind. Dude, that would be nuts.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, Christine, get ready.
Get ready. We're going to pick actors and...
I was going to say I'm going to pick Jason Momoa from Star Trek, but I was incorrect. He was in Stargate, so I apologize.
Yes.
It's okay.
We all forgive you.
And how can you forget Dune? Got to bring it up.
See, I'm picking the OG sci-fi here. The original.
Yeah, some people have old taste. Nick?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought Dune was old taste because it was the book that created most of modern-day sci-fi.
Okay,
anyway,
Nick wants some heat. Nick's starting the fire before we even get into our picks.
Anyway, go ahead.
I got actors for days.
Oh, boy. All right, well... As we do, as is our custom, we will roll a die, and highest will be able to go first or pick which spot they would go to. So if you win the die toss, you can say, I would like to go second, or I like to go third or first, or whatever.
Excellent.
All right.
Christine, I will roll for you, unless you have a die handy.
Oh, you know what? I should have done that because we have a plethora of die, but I do not. So please roll for me.
Okay, I am rolling. You got a 4.
I can
a solid.
4.
Okay, solid.
That's a good one. Nick, you want to go? Nick rolled it off the table. Nick got a 5, and watch Michael get a 6. I got a 1.
Get a 1.
So guess who's picking last? All right, Nick.
All righty.
I don't like this.
Yeah, let's see.
This is what happened last time I was on for the movie draft.
Yeah, you were second. Nick was first.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't like the position I'm in right now.
I'm going to defer to third pick.
That's a great choice. I
feel confident that you guys won't screw me over in the first 2 picks. So, Christine, up to you. Do you want to be first or second pick?
Well, I definitely won't screw you over with my picks because my picks are trash. So, I like the solid 2. I like being in the middle, It's
a great choice. Choice. I love when Michael goes first. I love when Michael goes first.
That's so sad, and I don't care.
Just get your favorite movie out and
just put it out there. Go pick the movie.
Just completely wreck the shop.
There's gonna be 5 picks between me and my next pick.
4. Yeah, sucks for you.
Thanks, guys. Holy cow! I was not prepared for this.
Godspeed, my brother.
I got some pretty good ones, so I think you might pick. So let's see where you go.
Oh man, the problem is there isn't a number 1 movie. There's no Avengers Endgame where I'm I have to take this off the board before someone picks it.
That's an opinion.
I'm gonna need a hot second, guys.
Okay.
You want some elevator music? I could just talk about myself.
What is your favorite item from Olive Garden?
Well, hot opinion. I think Olive Garden is trash.
Oh, come on. I'm trying so hard.
I'm trying to build a bridge, Christine.
I'm turning every bridge. Just say it's not okay.
If she doesn't like something, no, it's straight hot trash.
There's no it's I like it a lot. It was decent. It's hot garbage covered in dog water. It's moldy and shitty. It's awful.
I got 2 sides. That's it.
I know you do. Dang it, Christine.
But I do like their salad and breadsticks. I will eat their salad and breadsticks. I do like them.
Okay, so you could have just said that. As simple as that.
But I didn't want to.
Salad.
The art of conversation.
I wanted to be true to how I feel about it.
This has inspired me though. I do kind of want to do a spin-off podcast with you where I just go say something that is just overall like really liked by something, and then you just go, "Yeah, but it sucks. It's hot garbage," and that's all we do for the entire podcast.
I'm down. Sign me up.
Besides that, they suck.
They pee everywhere. They chew your clothes.
Yeah.
Give me a list. I got time.
And then just the camera pans to me, just like with one tear shed, just like, "Hey, we'll see you next week."
Anyway, Christian ruins everything I love in life.
Oh my god.
It's fine. It's fine. Dang, I thought that was a safe pick, Olive Garden. Lessons learned.
I forgot that you had this feeling of Olive Garden.
Michael, these are things I need to know.
You need to tell me what your sister hates before I get to a fight with her.
These are like the main two things that you hate. That's
like
about it.
Just really obvious.
I feel like there's no other opinion that we're like, yeah, it's straight trash. Except for these two things, Interstellar and Olive Garden. That's it.
Yeah, that's basically my personality.
What's something that's like publicly known as like not being very good that you actually do like?
That's a good question.
Oh, that's a really great question.
Like, are you a Twilight fan?
From like, yeah, I probably would consider myself a Twilight fan, just from like nostalgia purposes. Yeah. Like, I was the right age.
Gotta build them bridges, baby.
I understand and watched all the Twilight movies because of Christine.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, I needed to educate you about vampires.
Said that she might be taking a trip to Forks soon with some friends to
finally
witness.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Not because of the Twilight thing, just because Forks seems like a really cool town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Twilight
cool
thing
for other reasons, but probably mostly for just
garbage. But
I mean, let's be honest. When have you ever had somebody in your life look at you and not say like "I love you," but they say it's like you're my own personal brand of heroin?
Yeah.
I mean, one time.
I just think.
When I look at our going menu, you know what I mean?
Why don't people talk like that more often?
People.
Fair enough. Heroin is bad. Okay, touche.
I mean, it's not good for you.
Fair enough. Anyway.
Did you make a decision, Michael?
Michael, sorry, stop podcasting. I'm talking about Twilight.
Okay, but back to Olive Garden.
Yeah, okay, sure. Olive Garden.
The little mini desserts at Olive Garden, the little cake things, the little ice cream cake thing. No, they're not ice cream.
Yeah,
they're like.
But I mean, you're not going to Olive Garden for the dessert.
I definitely have.
Well, okay. Their best dessert are the Andes mints they give to you with the receipt.
You can grab like 12 of them.
Oh, amen. And put them all in your mouth at the same time.
See, bridge back. The bridge is fixed.
Bridges. That's my specialty.
Yeah, they're aesthetic.
All right. Now that I know that you hate some interesting things, but you do love some things that are hated, I think we can find some common ground here.
There's probably something that people hate that I love more, but I can't think of it off the top of my head with all this pressure.
Do you, are you what's your Star Wars vibe? Are you a pro Star Wars fan? Are you anti? Are you?
I'm pro Star Wars.
Okay.
But I'm not a big fan of continually making content.
Fair enough.
I feel like it lessens the specialness. I am a pro prequel. There you go. How about that?
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I would have the most controversial opinions about Star Wars.
You actually like?
Yeah, because you like The Last Jedi.
Yeah,
you do like The Last Jedi.
I do.
Yeah, that's okay.
Sorry, guys.
So anyway, on to your pick.
Okay, I think I just got to go, and I'm not caring what anyone else thinks.
You definitely do need to go for sure.
Yeah, like it is your turn.
I'm going to pick for my number one pick in action.
Okay.
I am picking John Wick.
Okay.
I knew you were going to pick that.
Baba
Yaga. Let's just say, I feel like there's so many movies on this list that it's difficult for me to pick the best one. So I went with John Wick because I think it does it brought back Keanu Reeves. Sure. I think it modernized and revolutionized the action genre.
Mm-hmm. It's the Keanu-sance.
Yeah. So that is my number one pick.
Okay.
All right. Christian. Good for you.
Thank you.
So I had more time to think while I trashed Olive Garden.
Yes.
And
as we all do.
As one does.
I do like Olive Garden.
I do. You can go after this.
The Zuppa Toscana. Oh,
that's great.
They're literally having Olive Garden at my work tomorrow, and I was like, no, thank you.
It's like that dog water. Are you kidding me? That hot carpet.
Okay, so I only have 2 movies in my horror thriller category, so I'm going to pick one of those.
Oh.
Yeah, I better get it out of the way.
Oh, no. This is falling right into Nick's lap.
Yeah, he's probably got some movie that I was like, I forgot that existed.
Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
So my horror thriller, I'm going to go with Gone Girl.
Oh, that's a great choice.
That is a great choice.
I really liked Gone Girl. It was fantastic. It was riveting. I really appreciated that film. Good twists and turns. Well, you're welcome. I took it. It's mine now.
This is a movie that you own, and I watched it because of you.
That's a
yeah. Every time a movie I own, let me know because I don't remember what I own.
Okay. I own John Wick. Okay, never mind.
You own it. No, this movie's super, super good. Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, Neil Patrick Harris, Tyler Perry, like all really great performances. Love this movie.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
Nick, give it to us.
So actually, fun fact: Gone Girl was my first thriller pick, so
okay.
that was a good choice.
That was a great choice.
So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to play dirty and make sure that I get this before.
Oh, jeez.
Because there's no other movie to pick for the horror category, so I have to.
Nick! I thought we were friends.
There is one more still here.
There is one more, and I'm gonna have to snag that. Oh, actually, I don't have to snag it. You guys already picked your horrors. So.
Yeah.
This one was, I think my favorite horror movie from this year.
Yeah, so I wonder who suggested that to you.
Was it Michael?
Yeah, it was.
I haven't seen this one.
The premise definitely didn't sell me. He's like, hear me out, okay? So there's this thing, and like it follows you, and like you gotta have sex with people, and then like it won't follow you, and then those people will die, and then you have to have sex with more people. I was like, interesting.
That's not. You're selling it so short, Nick.
It was like maybe a sentence longer than that, but it was word.
I mean, that's basically the gist.
Pretty much the gist, yeah.
And
it's STD.
Yeah, but it was an interesting. I'll dive more into it, but it was spooky, and it did a good job of. I think there's some really iconic things about it that do set it apart from, the average.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best horror films in the past few years. So,
oh boy, I had to do it though, dude. I mean, can't blame me.
I honestly, this next choice for my horror is up there too.
Okay, all right, I believe you. And then I think,
What are you gonna pick, Nick? Yeah, well, let's talk about Olive Garden. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know how it's going.
I don't have to. Let's see here. I think
now the pressure's on.
Get my sequel out of the way because when it comes to this category, it's not only just saying a sequel; it's what made it so much special compared to the original.
Nick.
And so I'm gonna have to pick Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's a good one.
Punch you in the face, Nick. I'm coming out there.
I mean, there's a couple other good sequels in this category, but I do think like the argument of you want to talk about improvement and standing the test of time. I think that's a pretty safe pick for.
I mean, it's my favorite Marvel film, so
it's a lot of people's I think just one of the most better, well written Marvel movies. So
I had to delete it from my list just now because of you.
I picked 2 Michael picks.
These are like 2 of my favorite movies.
I know they are.
And there's other categories I don't have to worry as much about because of certain things, so it'll be fine. There's some great choices in a lot of other of this, so
there's more depth.
Just
I think I would have been okay on sequel
more.
if you would have taken Winter Soldier because I do have some arguments for others. But I think when it just comes,
I was prepared for this, Nick. I was prepared for this betrayal.
I know you were, fancy pants.
Oh, knives are coming out. Okay, it's my turn.
Yes, that's right.
I also only have 2 movies in my comedy section, so we're just going to get that one out of the way.
I love going first.
Well, this is not going to be taking yours, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I don't think so.
Okay, sure.
Unless I'm dumb. But I could be very dumb.
You're not dumb. No dumb.
No dumb. I'm going to go with the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, kidding. Great pick. Great pick. He's dead, dude. We destroyed this guy.
Oh, Michael.
Michael's
so
out,
sorry.
out. Thank you for listening to Not Us United.
Anyway,
for Michael, because he's done.
Michael's left the podcast. I'm going to replace him. I'm a Zavala. It's all right, you know.
You're making yeah. Cool. Great.
Great film, by the way. Really funny. And if you haven't seen it,
you own this movie as well.
I do. I don't even know my own movies. Michael knows my own movies better than me.
That's true. He's a good guy. Like that.
I thought you owned this movie. I at least own this movie.
It's on Voodoo.
Oh, that is just me then. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's great.
Guys, listen here. I don't know. Okay.
What you got left?
Now I get 2 picks. Okay. Guys, I hate both of you equally. And I say that in the most loving way possible.
Mm-hmm. I thought so.
Okay. So I get 2 picks. At least that's good. Okay, I'm going to keep my wild card open. You both have picked your... Nick, what did you pick? You picked action.
He picked sequel horror.
Winter Soldier.
Yep.
And you picked your horror. Okay, so horror is still open for me. I'm gonna stick with that. Leave that for a while. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta pick some of the movies that I love. Okay, for my drama, I have to pick one of also my other favorite movies. I need to pick Whiplash before someone steals it.
Well, you stole it from me, so thank you so much.
There you go.
I don't think I stole it from Nick.
I don't think you did either.
And then for that's my drama. I don't know if I said it for Whiplash. For my sequel, I am picking Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
I figured you would. Good movie. I enjoy.
Yeah, Nick's gonna have a good time.
I think I'm gonna pull a Christine and
Hot Trash?
That's a hot trash movie.
No way. Are you serious?
Oh.
I looked through this whole thing and I picked like 25 movies and I didn't even second glance at that movie.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Michael loves that movie.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
It's better than the first one.
Really? You don't like that movie? I agree. It's better than the first one. It's not
that memorable. I remember the James Franco one way more.
That's fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm having a rough night.
I see where he's coming from on this one. In that aspect.
I just can't win. All right. Christine.
I mean, if I'm just going to have, Andy Serkis do mocap, I'll just watch Lord of the Rings, am I right?
Well, yeah,
I'm just kidding. You can't compare the two. It's fine.
Okay, all right. My turn?
Mind games, baby. Maybe it was my number one pick.
I know, maybe it was.
It was, and now he's just tragic.
Let's see. I'm gonna knack on some snacks. So if you hear some little ding, little bit of that in there,
I hear that. What do I want to go with here?
Completely full, Nick. You're making me do this.
I had nothing to do with it.
Oh man.
Okay, I've come to my decision.
Okay.
For my drama, I will be going with Ex Machina.
Oh.
Okay.
Did that come out this year? Dang it.
It did.
Yes, it did. Well, love me some Oscar Isaacs.
Yeah, that's a great choice. Alicia Vikander.
Yep.
Wonderful choice. And
Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great
Very
film.
Choice.
Great choice.
All right.
Thank you. I cede my time.
That's it.
All right. This is interesting. Okay. I will go ahead and get my comedy out of the way. This is tricky. There's two really big hitters up here that I'd really like to talk about.
I think I know what you're going for, yeah.
But and one of them just kind of my guts telling me like, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Guardians of the Galaxy for comedy. Yeah. I hate to be the guy with two Marvel movies, but I feel like they both were.
Aren't you that guy every year?
No, actually, Michael typically is the Marvel guy.
Yeah,
I pick like the best one, and then he gets like the best.
He gets the rest of them.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed a theme going on.
Yeah.
With,
yeah.
Michael gets the leftovers.
Yeah, Michael gets leftovers. Nah, this felt like a game changer for Marvel. It's when they went from like, hey, here's our other deity character, or like godlike Avenger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now it's time for a bunch of a-holes. You know, you're just like, okay, this is wild. And this is when I think it got like, I wouldn't say like it wasn't fun to begin with, but I think this is when they were allowed to be like, we can breathe now, and that's going to allow our creative juices to flow.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so that's my pick. But don't worry, I'm done with Marvel for the rest of this pick. I think
that was the only one that came out.
I think that's all that's left. I didn't even write that one down.
Well,
actually,
I mean,
sorry.
There's some bad Marvel movies, but not MCU movies.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out. I don't know if that's anyone's list,
Days
but
of Future Past.
Oh, I didn't write either of those down either.
Days of Future Past?
I liked it except for the fact that I don't get to watch any of the previous X-Men movies.
That's when they go back in time and then
Mystique there. She's like, I'm Mystique. That's what she does.
That's right. And then for drama, I'll go ahead and get my drama pick out of the way, and I will go with American Sniper.
Nice choice.
Oh, I forgot that came out this year.
This was a wild theatrical experience for me because this was, I don't know if you guys went and saw it in theaters, but
I did.
People left silently.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're literally like at a funeral by the end of the film, you know? Like, you technically are, but like the respect that people like showed, it was wild. It's not like, wow, it was a good movie. Hey, it was like, and then
just quiet
on left.
Yeah, that movie definitely lives with impact. Yeah,
being in that movie.
Wow, good choices.
Thank you.
Good job.
Two Bradley Cooper picks.
I know. You're loving that Bradley Cooper here today.
Yeah. Amen.
Double Coop all the way.
Yeah, we got classic, just like, historic thing that actually happened. Stupid space movie. Captain America, Winter Soldier, and a sex horror movie. Just the essentials.
If I could sum up Nick in 1 and 4 movies.
Just the essentials.
The movies you need to watch in life. Those 4. And only those 4.
Right.
Yep.
All right, Christine.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my sequel reboot.
Okay.
Because I personally love this movie.
Oh, I know what you're picking.
Okay, why don't you tell it for me?
Ooh, careful.
Actually, that is dangerous.
Because you might say something good, and she'll be like, "Oh no, you're right."
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. You just have to say it, and then I'll say if I agree. You have to trust me.
Okay. All right. I enjoy this movie because it is about dragons.
Oh, I knew it! I told him. Yes,
it's a great pick.
How to Train Your Dragon 2. It's fantastic.
It's really nice that I'm going to have to argue against movies that I absolutely love.
Dude, the second one is so good.
It's so much better than the first one, yeah.
That would have been my second pick for sequel as well, because I think there's a strong case to be made of just... It's the Empire Strikes Back of the Training Your Dragon.
That is flat out the best movie. I think a lot of people love the first one more.
Really?
The third one's not that well...
third one's,
No, but the second one, dude, I mean, the stakes are just, like, there. And it's like they finally
it's so good.
It's still, dude, just...
But overall, 10 out of 10. Love this movie.
What a film.
So good. So, the animation,
It's also funny when you think of the cast and how, like, you have the feelings that you have, and you realize that they're all just, like, silly, like, Seth Rogen friends that are just, like, screwing around, and they're, like, doing this really heartfelt... And then Gerard Butler's in it too. It's just like what a cast. I love movie casts because they're just the most bizarre thing that you could never actually see on like a live action movie. It's wild.
Yeah, because they can be. You don't actually see the actor, so it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go, Michael. I cede the floor to you now.
All right, this is a good night for me.
Is it?
Well, because I am picking my comedy, the Lego Movie.
Ah, great pick.
Everything is awesome.
Everything sucks.
Yeah,
everything is cool.
Elsa.
Yeah, everything's cool when you're part of a team. Let's just.
If I never have to hear that song again, I will be very happy.
Yeah, this movie just is really emotional to me. But yes, thank you.
Chris Pratt popped off this.
Yeah. Let's just say we picked 2 of his movies so far.
Yeah. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy in this one. This was a big year for him.
So I picked that, and then I get one more pick. The decision is: do I snag the horror, or do I throw a wild card in there? And I think wait, Nick, what do you have left? You have wild card?
Wild card and adventure. Action adventure.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to use for my wild card. I'm going to take Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you were going to do that. Mm-hmm.
Damn, you guys are being way too nice to me.
I don't really have any action and adventure, really. I have so much drama.
I'll give you a hint. Christine's not picking it.
Oh, I for sure as hell am not picking it.
That's fine.
You know, should I pick it and then just talk about how bad it was?
You should pick it, Christine. Please pick it. Just for the sake of I don't know.
It's a strong pick. It's the most popular movie of that year, according to IMDb.
The people are wrong.
I don't know, Christine. This one I don't know if I can go there with you.
It's the Olive Garden of movies, let's just say.
It's just soggy bread and just lettuce.
Endless soggy bread.
But it's very good bread on occasion.
I yield my time back to you, Christine. What do you have left? What are your categories?
I got action and wild card. Let's see.
Hey, you could do it. You could do it.
I'm going with my action adventure. No, I'm not going to pick that movie because someone else can take it. Well, Principal. It's a soapbox I stand on, and I cannot do that to myself.
It's okay. I have a feeling by the end of this, it'll be a slightly shorter soapbox.
No, I don't know. No.
Because you're going to fight so well for...
We'll see. Okay. I believe that Not Us United will be united by the end of this.
About this one thing.
We'll see.
Look, I'm still mad. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go with I don't really. Which one do I want to go with? I'm gonna go with probably the worst choice, but that's fine. I'm gonna go with Godzilla because big monster destroys city. Sounds fun.
Hey.
There you go.
Alrighty.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting choice.
Well, I didn't have much left, and I don't really have very many options.
We can go over...
it's hands down the best Godzilla movie that Godzilla is only in for 5 minutes.
I would say 10 minutes, but yeah.
Hands down.
I think it's the best of the modern Godzilla American versions. King of Monsters was and then King Kong versus Godzilla, I think it was
it looked great, but yeah, you're right. The first one just kind of built that anticipation of it. It has one of the coolest kills at the end of it.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I have a special spot for these movies. I don't know, they're just fun popcorn movies.
That was one of those movies where I was kind of disappointed throughout the whole film, but then at the very end when he rips open the monster and breathes fire down its mouth, I stood up and high-fived my friends.
Yeah. So you're saying it's a great movie, yeah.
So you agree with me?
All time. It was all time. What a memory.
So you're saying Godzilla, and then right below it was the emotional toll of American Sniper, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. That's exactly what he's saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, am I finishing it out? Is this it?
Well, you have... I still have one
still
more
circles back around to you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I still have to do my wild card.
Okay. So I will do my action adventure, which is that I could hang on to this for this long. And I will be picking Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, McConaughey's greatest movie of all time.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I think
You have Wildcard left, right?
Yeah, I think for my Wildcard, I have two choices, I think.
Wildcard, okay.
I think I'm going to go with Kingsman Secret Service as my last pick.
That's good. That's a fair choice.
I'm not a big fan of that one.
Oh, really?
Okay.
It's not a straight dog water.
But it's, I think, oh wait, no, I'm confusing it with the second one. I don't like the second one.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
First one's good.
This is the
first one's
one.
really good.
Yep.
Second one is, I don't care for.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, I was confusing myself.
Has anyone seen the new one?
No, not yet.
Kingsman.
I wasn't going to see it because I was so disappointed.
They did say they are making a third one with Eggsy, though. So
okay.
They'll finish up the trilogy.
Yeah. I do want to see the new one, but like, I'm not going to the theater and.
I think the second one had maybe like when it got emotional, it was a little more emotional. Like there's a certain character who doesn't make it. And he dies in the second one. It's far more emotional than anything in the first one. But the first one I think was the cleanest, like best delivered. Yeah, everything's quick, and it's just a really good movie.
I think that you or Jake on our year of the second Golden Circle. One of you picked that movie. And we talked about it briefly, but yes, the moment you're talking about is the best part of the movie, but around it is just, I don't like it at all.
Right.
Where the first movie, we'll get into it more, but I enjoyed it much
that
more.
Scene I think might be the best from both actual movies, like one of my favorite scenes.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
But I think the first one as a package deal is just way better quality.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just like the pug. I think the pug's cute.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
10 out of 10 for the pug.
Wild card?
I have my wild card left. There's a lot of really great films here. And I'm just trying to decide which of the trashy films I'm going to go with because I'm going with my emotional gut here. Not quality.
Fair enough.
Necessarily. I am going to go with Big Hero 6.
Oh, great pick too.
Yeah. Straight dog water. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to go with my, there's another movie I quite am very fond of. It's my guilty pleasure movie. And I was going to give it, no, it's not.
No, sorry. Big Hero 6 is a Marvel movie.
So yeah.
Technically, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just probably like the worst of Disney's animated in a long time. But yeah, it's fine.
Big Hero 6 is adorable. I thought it was very cute.
No, good choice. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to just pick my horror film. Probably the only horror film left is Babadook.
Yep.
Okay,
yep.
Just save that for last. Everyone knows what's going on.
Well, I was going to go pick the Maze Runner because I love...
The guilty pleasure of Maze Runner. Let's just all agree that is so good.
My boy D.O.B., baby.
Dylan O'Brien is such a good guilty pleasure. I love that movie so much.
It's so good.
He just leans into it, though, which is my favorite. Like, he is not ashamed to be in, like, B movies.
Yeah.
Honestly, every single one of them is so good.
Like, A quality.
He's great.
In every movie that he does.
Yeah.
So it's like, he doesn't deserve some of, like, he should be given better movies.
Oh, yeah.
And that.
I mean, have you seen Teen Wolf?
Have I seen Teen Wolf? Christine, we did it. We did
The bridge.
I have the whole collector's edition. I have the whole series. I love that show so much, Christine.
I love that show so much.
Ground, reading Rainbow, other positive things. We did it.
Stiles Stilinski, my heart.
Oh, the Jeep.
Oh, I love a Jeep.
All right, Christine.
You saw Love and Monsters, right?
Love Monsters. Excellent.
Excellent film.
You know what?
I love him.
My movie draft coming
Yeah.
near you.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah,
he's in.
I agree with all of them.
Mm-hmm. I think Dylan O'Brien gets like way less credit than he deserves.
He was great in Deepwater Horizon.
American Assassin.
Excellent,
but the movie as itself is so generic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That even though he's doing something that's like unique to a typical role that would be in that, I think that, like, I love watching his movies because he's great in all of them.
Yeah.
So regardless, I know I'm at least going to get like a 6 out of 10 just because he's in it.
Yeah.
And then if the movie's great, then it's like, yay. I just feel like for some reason he like lives in that like odd bubble. And like, yeah, he could have been the next Spider-Man.
He could have been.
Yeah.
See,
you know what I mean?
Like, yeah. Anyway. If he's in a movie, I'm gonna see it. I really don't care what it is. I'm like, oh, I'll watch that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Nick, you want to run down your list one more time for us?
Yes. So for action, I have Interstellar, which is going to be an interesting one to talk about tonight. Drama, I have American Sniper. Don't at me. I don't think you can. And then horror, It Follows. Comedy, Guardians of the Galaxy. Sequel, Captain America Winter Soldier. And then with my wild card, the cherry on top is a Kingsman.
All right, Christine, give us your list.
All right, I've got, for my action adventure, I have Godzilla. Horror, I've got Gone Girl. Sequel, Reboot, I've got How to Train Your Dragon 2. Comedy, I got The Grand Budapest Hotel. Drama, I got Ex Machina. And Wildcard, I have Big Hero 6. I'm doing great.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you guys had a good night.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah. My action
now,
is...
Speaking of trash, Michael, what?
My picks are action, John Wick. My comedy is Lego Movie. My horror is Babadook. My drama is Whiplash, one of the greatest movies of all time. One of my sequel is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and my wild card is Edge of Tomorrow.
I love me some Tommy Cruise.
Yeah. Where do we start, folks? Because do we want to get Interstellar out of the way?
Let's just get Interstellar out of the way. I don't want to sit on
Christine,
this.
you have 5 minutes. Go.
I have 5 minutes. Anyway, I just personally don't like this movie at all. So there you go. That's it. That's really it's just dumb.
Talk to me why your movie is better than Interstellar, and then that's what we'll do through this. We'll each make our case for why it's the better action pick.
And Michael can just sit in third place.
Oh, John Wick is great. I don't think I need to make that argument.
I was gonna say, yeah, John Wick's pretty, straightforward.
I do enjoy John Wick very much. I watched that on Michael's recommendation. I just really enjoy Godzilla and monsters and unnecessary cities being destroyed, and like that just brings me joy. Sometimes you need to go to a movie all by yourself in the middle of summer when it's 110 degrees outside and watch a movie with popcorn about a monster destroying a city. Okay,
conditioning. Let's.
Don't at me.
Don't at you. Fair enough.
I don't know. I just like Godzilla. I just think it's really enjoyable because it's a movie where I don't have to think. And Interstellar makes me think too much, and I don't like to think.
Fair enough.
There you go. That's all I got. That's my time today.
Definitely has its place. I agree. We do need some of that
popcorn. Just fun.
Especially
it's a popcorn movie.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, there is something that's just inherent in us that loves that, like,
big old monster,
awe-inspiring, like, action that there could be this great evil that can't be overcome unless some sort of just huge thing could destroy it for us. And so as a kid, like, I always grew up with Power Rangers, same thing, where it's like, we gotta fight them on the ground. Uh-oh, they turned into a Godzilla size. Whatever could we do? Time for the Megazord. So then it's just big old dudes fighting in cardboard suits until one of them dies. It's like, oh, this is great.
Now, to defend my sister here a little bit,
okay.
Why is Interstellar the best action
adventure? Sure.
Adventure. I forgot adventure was part of the category.
This is not the sci-fi category with flawed physics.
I really liked how all the crops were dying. The action sequences were insane.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yes, it is an adventure film.
Yeah, I would say
it is. Yeah,
quite a journey.
I mean, I guess.
I think you could argue, like, the distance on which his journey was quite vast. So
I mean, let's just say Godzilla is a big monster. So
he is. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so let me make the case for Interstellar. Let's see here. The
physics are terrible.
The physics are okay. Okay, hold on.
Big size.
Isn't it the most realistic depiction of a black hole, though? But
yeah, it's insane.
Neil deGrasse Tyson said it was the most realistic.
He did.
I'm sorry. I'm going back and forth. John Wick's great, by the way.
John Wick's great. Eats popcorn.
Anyway, I love John Wick.
John Wick revolutionized the action genre, let's just say. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah. So Christopher Nolan has always been kind of known for being the guy who does something pretty fantastical, but is always like considered grounded, or like did like kind of the ground level stuff. So like Batman, even though it's like gritty and like dark, he always made it like real and grounded in that world. And he takes a space epic and still makes you think about a dude in like on a dirt road with a family, and it like at its core it's like still like a family, like grounded sci-fi.
So you're saying
film.
it's Fast and Furious, but in space.
Well, I think Fast and Furious already did that.
They already went to space, Michael? Did you not watch Fast and Furious 8?
Not by this point, all right?
And so, yes, there is the spectacle of you will always get in a Christopher Nolan film. And yes, it does get a little heady, but I don't think it gets as into the weeds as like Inception does, where it almost has to like explain what's happening in the plot when it's happening at times, where that can kind of like break the movie, where you're just like, we're in a dream, yeah, but remember we're in a second layer of a dream, and if we go into the third, then remember we'll be in a third layer of a dream, and it's like, okay, slow down. Whereas Interstellar is kind of like black hole, weird shit's gonna happen. They're like, what kind of weird shit? It's like, we're gonna find out what kind of weird shit. Like they don't go full on. They kind of try to dive into it, like when they go to the planet and the time passes a little differently and stuff like that, but it's never not entertaining when they explain it. It never feels like it's trying to teach me something during the film. I don't feel like I learned all these new concepts. I think it kind of opened up my mind to like, oh, that could kind of make sense because it's so foreign and out in space. And so I think he did a good job of being creative without just overdoing, like, guess what the gimmick is? It's time. Guess what the gimmick is? It's time. Like, and they just keep going over and over and over again.
Yeah. I think
so when it does get super heady, you kind of are just there for it, because you're like, this is the only time you're trying to do something that's just batshit crazy that I'm okay with it.
Christine, I think from what you've told me about your dislike of this movie is that I think you agree with most of what Nick has said of the science, and it's very kind of grounded until like the last 10 minutes where it's like, anyways, it's just love.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Where like the answer to the sorry for spoilers for Interstellar, but like the answer is like, oh, there's a bookcase and it's love. Like,
got it.
To be completely grounded up until this point and then have this like this twist. Do you want to speak on that, Christine, about like maybe it's like just this doesn't connect?
Yeah. So like my problem with Michael loves Interstellar because it has a surprise Matt Damon in it.
We all agree on that.
It all ties into The Martian later on.
It all ties in.
His name's Man, and it could be a clone of Jason Bourne. Let's just leave that there.
Yes. This movie, like I couldn't handle it because everything they did in it, I was like, this is so dumb. Why are you doing this? Why is this happening? Why don't you just send robots into space? Why do we have to send people into space? Why are you putting and then it gets to the end and they're like, it's love. And you're putting your hand through bookshelves and I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm completely transcended.
So
I'm done.
Is anti-bookshelves.
I hate reading.
Against that is they had to send people into space because the people on Earth weren't going to make it. They sent them into space because
love.
The original plan was that they were just going to recolonize, so they sent embryos with Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway to repopulate another planet.
Right.
And then they realized they actually could fix it. At the end, when he went into the black hole, he actually fixed the problem so that the people of Earth were able to travel as well. That was never the original plan.
And it is kind of like, isn't it? And I think I've only seen this movie one time, but
I'm gonna rewatch it again and text both of you and be like, anyway, this part's dumb. Let me tell you why.
I think we need to watch this movie together.
Plus the score, like, hate the score. No.
It is very Nolan-esque where it is loud but okay.
If you hate this, it's hard to see why you would like Dune's score because it's just as loud and jarring.
I
don't agree with that.
Really?
I think
you don't like Interstellar's score?
Hold on. I think Dune is loud and imposing. Interstellar is loud and imposing at the wrong moments.
It doesn't match. Like when the score plays, it's always in like a scene that I feel like doesn't match with what the score is supposed to be going, and then it is too loud, too overpowering, and I'm sitting here like, this is still dumb.
I don't agree with that in the sense of I think Dune fits perfectly when there's moments of when there's dialogue happening. I can hear it happening. Where in Nolan films, sometimes with Tenet, and I love Tenet because it is just a feel. It is just like overpowering with the music, and I think Interstellar does that as well, where very important scenes are happening, and you're like, wah, and you're like, you can't like hear.
Yeah, but no one's talking.
I think there are moments. There are moments where that happens.
Okay.
Anyways, we just need to do an Interstellar podcast.
No, I get what you're saying. It's like Matt Damon and like Matthew McConaughey are like fighting. I don't care if there's loud music.
Yeah, at that point, it's fine.
Yeah,
because like when it's same within Dune when there's like this large like when they land on Dune for the first time, these huge bagpipes, great, beautiful.
Yeah.
But there are moments of communication where it's like I can't hear what's going on.
Yeah. I also think just at the root of this movie though is you see everyone's true self come through. So like Matthew McConaughey, as much as he doesn't want to admit, basically has this issue with like unfinished business. He felt like he was destined to be in the skies. So when he's given an opportunity, even if it means that there's a chance that he doesn't get to see his kids like grow up, he's still like, it's hard to explain, but it just feels like it's my destiny to do that. You're sitting there going like, that feels incredibly wrong and stupid, but at the same time, that's what drives every single character to do this. It makes Michael Caine's character Michael Caine, Tangerine. My
name's McConaughey.
Yeah. Michael Caine, he is so caught up in the fact that they can't figure it out that he stops trying. Anne Hathaway's character is, I want to get to the planet that might have my love on it, and so I'm going to be biased when we're making our calculations and figure out like. And then Matt Damon is, I'm a coward. I just want to live. You know, and they all are like, you know, like succumb to like their inner idol, and that's what kind of makes them like. It's at the heart of the whole thing. And so then Murph's obviously is like, my dad left me, but I love him so much that I want to come and get him. So
I think to make a point against that, I agree with your points, but to say against it is it is very rushed in the end where it's like, yes, love, and also like, hey, future humans are doing this as well. Whereas isn't there a point where it's like the humans in the future gave us some tools and they sent us off, and there's like, so like time is kind of like flipped on its head. So that's a whole like library and all that stuff. So I think that is very brief.
Sure.
And so where some people like Christine may find that a little hard to just be like, let's gloss over this. But I think the heart is there to Interstellar, but the some other things can be.
Fair enough.
I don't know. We need to. Interstellar.
Yeah. See, the thing with Interstellar is, I get why it's a good movie. Just for me, it didn't work for me. Like, the theme didn't work for me. Like, maybe I was just in a bad headspace when I watched it. But you get to the end, and they're like, "It's all about love," and I'm like, "Oh, for crying out loud!" I watched 2.5 hours for you to stick a hand through the bookshelf to tell me it's all about love.
Yeah. No, I get you. And I think that's where the parallels for me and like Arrival come, is like it's all a future message or a message sent from somewhere else.
From the future to the past.
And love is at the root of it with Amy Adams and her daughter and Matthew McConaughey and his. So that's where I just feel like the parallels are very like.
I agree.
I think it's a personal taste on that.
No, I think
it was just very convoluted. Like, there were a lot of like plot points in it that I feel like weren't really closed, and they're like, "Oh, we want to go to this planet because I think they want to go to a planet," and then they were like,
"Side of it where I was like, I want to do some crazy shit on camera."
Yeah, so they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do this."
Streamline.
I'm worried about the story. Where I think Christopher Nolan's like, I'll get a twist in there, but remember, this is like an IMAX movie as well. Like, I think that's to his detriment. He will do it to be Christopher Nolan. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a very Nolan-esque movie.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. All right.
We got to move on.
I made my case.
All right. Anyways, John Wick.
I'll sleep in this bed that I made.
Anyways, yes, everyone can vote for John Wick. That's cool. All right. Our comedy
Just forget about the other two.
Comedy movies. I picked the Lego Movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Your guys' choices, Nick, Guardians. And Christine's yours was Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yes, it was.
Tell us why you love that movie.
Well,
we'll come out with an episode later that tells you why we love
Yeah,
that
we've
movie.
already pre-recorded a movie about a review of that.
So I can tell you, and then you can just listen to that one and be like, this is why they love Grand Budapest, and I'll tell you why I love Grand Budapest. I just think it is so clever and so funny, and it's probably my favorite Wes Anderson film. I love it. I think it is witty and smart, and the dialogue is great, and I just really like it. And like when I compare it to things like the Lego Movie, to me, the Lego Movie is dumb. And I can't get
Mine
is gold.
Mine sets a high standard, and yours is made of Legos.
Okay, you know what? First off, imagination in Legos. So I would agree. Grand Budapest.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I just really like Grand Budapest. I think it's a really good movie. And my main problem with the Lego Movie is the song, because whenever a song gets popular and doesn't get off the radio, I hate it.
That was the point, though. The whole point of the song is everything is awesome.
Meta.
It's so Christine, it's so meta. Like it's just like it's supposed to be just catchy pop, whatever. And like you're the whole point is about imagination and innovation, and like anyone could be this like master builder, you know. Mm-hmm. And so
it is very cute.
I also I think I have a soft spot because I grew up with Legos.
You did.
I was in this imagination space where all these worlds connected, and it just felt like if there was one movie that like made my childhood like come alive, it is the Lego Movie.
Yeah.
And I felt like this is the world that I was in my head with. Mm-hmm. And I feel very much like Chris Pratt's character, where I feel like sometimes I am pretty ordinary, and
I think you're extraordinary.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
To find out that like he is this special person, like everyone wants to be this special person. So I very much enjoyed that, and also the twist at the end, where spoilers, it's all part of this like Will Ferrell's basement.
Yeah,
dude, it's so cool. It's such a fun idea. I think it's so inventive and so fun. And this movie, it's about a brand. It's about Legos. It could be so bad. Like it could be like. I don't know, some branded movie where it's just like, and we're the Legos, and here's the Lego people. It just feels like so imaginative and so inventive that, and just so silly. And it's Lord and Miller who created also another movie on your list, Winter Soldier, which is the complete opposite of this movie. But,
oh, really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Lord and Miller?
Yeah.
They helped write Winter Soldier?
I think so.
That's good. Interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
I know the Russo brothers directed it, but I don't know who wrote it.
I think they did.
The writer says it's
I could be totally wrong.
Phil Lord.
Yeah, Phil Lord and Chris Miller
are
the two writers for a Lego Movie.
Mm-hmm. I know that's true.
We can clear that up. But anyways, I just personally have a really fun attachment to a Lego Movie, and I think it's really, really fun. And it's you picked Guardians, right, for your Dang it, I was gonna say it's the most just easy to digest comedy of all three of them, but I don't think, as much as I love Grand Budapest, and it is his brand of comedy does not fit everybody.
Sure,
it's hard. Sometimes it is being like it's just like dry humor that doesn't fit with everything. And I would say about Guardians of the Galaxy, while yes, it is fun, to me, looking retrospectively back on it, it feels too much like it is this Marvel formula where it's like we gotta have a joke every 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
And I feel like a lot of the comedy in a lot of the Marvel movies is going to date itself when you watch it in about like 20 or 30 years. I don't think it's going to be as funny. But that is
Fair
just
enough.
my opinion.
Okay.
Your
I have
stand.
the floor. All right, sweet. Yeah, so Michael's movie does have Chris Pratt in it, but mine has Chris Pratt with a lot more abs.
IRL.
And what? And the problem is, my man's a Lego man.
I don't know. Okay. Anyway, so this is interesting because we picked three kind of like really artistic comedies, which is interesting.
Yeah.
In that, I mean, Wes Anderson obviously has his style. Lego is obviously it's like almost like stop motion Lego, so it's kind of a unique film. And then Guardians is where they connected this vibrant like color palette, and it's outer space. We haven't really been out there. We've seen a portal at this point, and we're just like, what the hell's going on, you know? And they really brought what's going universally on in the MCU was what this film did. And so not only did it have the weight of that to kind of introduce this concept that other stuff is going on outside of Earth. We all knew because of comics that of course that was going on, but they finally had to bring it to life. And they did so with an interesting crew. I wasn't expecting Dave Bautista to be a part of the party that brought that. I wasn't expecting Zoe Saldana.
Zaldana.
Sorry. And then Vin Diesel, let alone Bradley Cooper as a raccoon. And then,
not a raccoon.
What?
Technically not a raccoon, right? He's a space whatever.
Oh, sorry, space raccoon. Whatever.
A space raccoon.
And then Chris Pratt to kind of, and then there's some really good supporting actors in it as well, all packaged with a soundtrack that I do agree it does date itself, but I do think it dates itself on purpose because the movie is literally about a Walkman that has songs from only a certain time from his childhood.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the point that's kind of, he is a man that's stuck in the 80s as a 30-year-old boy. So it's just kind of and that soundtrack's like all time, like like across all Marvel movies. And so and this was the first time that it was actually a comedy. There hadn't been a Marvel movie that was a comedy,
pure
as its
comedy,
main genre. And this has kind of revolutionized it. I feel like the MCU in a lot of ways, that like Avengers obviously did something that no one else has ever done, and we're like, how do you outdo that? And they don't. They just did it. And that's how I felt like kept it going. And that's what introduces the Infinity Stones. I mean, a lot of stuff happens in Guardians that like.
It is a very pivotal movie.
Yeah. Apart from like Age of Ultron, which obviously everyone hates except for me, Guardians does
a lot of heavy lifting.
A lot of the other heavy lifting. It's like, here's where Thanos gets brought in and Infinity Stones. And then Age of Ultron is, here's how the Avengers are going to break off, and there's going to be like 6 arcs that allow us to have Infinity War later on.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just think it'll stand the test of time in that regard because it was pretty pivotal. So
I would agree. Yeah.
I do really enjoy all three of these movies, though. Yeah. I think they're all very fun.
Yeah,
they are good.
Let's just say everything's awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Everything's cool when you have a team.
That's right.
All right, do you want to do drama? That's the other big main category.
Let's do it.
Okay.
What do you have, Nick?
I have American Sniper. So
let's weigh it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to go from comedy to drama? This is your choice?
Yeah.
Sorry,
good transition.
Go first. Yeah.
You want to cry?
American Sniper is about a real life story about Chris Kyle, and yeah, I mean at the time it was like the guy who has ever had the most confirmed kills of all time, and like the
longest shot,
all these things. And while he's decorated with all these things, he was really battling with a lot as well, and ends up trying to help people that were in a similar situation as him, and that's what ends up leading, ends up leading to his own death. And it's just like a really, like, it's almost like when you watch the movie, you're like, surely that can't be the ending. That must have been the movie ending. And it's like, no, that's actually what happens in real life. And it's like, after all the danger he's been in, that's
how he goes.
And it's just like, but God bless him for serving, and then also for like trying to give back to the people who, because it took a toll on him as well, and it shows that throughout and this is when Bradley Cooper went from like, I'm the hangover, like pretty guy and Wedding Crashers, to like, I gained 30 pounds and I'm like jacked, and like, this is when he started to do some of his like method acting, I guess. I don't know.
Silver Linings Playbook was right before this.
Yeah, there was
love that movie.
2013.
And he obviously does a couple things to start to get him up here, but like, this one dude was just, it's insane.
Yeah.
He looks completely different, and I just thought his performance was awesome, but it also is just a great movie where you have to see like the decisions he had to make and how quick he had to make them, and it's pretty intense. And so obviously, that's the warning going into this movie, but I feel like from not knowing a whole lot about that story, I feel like it did a good job of painting all sides, and showed respect at the end and all that stuff. So
yeah, I mean, no argument here. It's a hard movie to watch, but I think it's a very important movie to watch, of like the toll of war and PTSD, and just like the cost of freedom.
Yes, and I did not pick that to make it hard again for you guys to argue.
Argue against this movie,
but I picked it because it was that perfect combination of, this is incredibly well acted and the production value is insane, but also they like did it well, because I think there are times when it's like the real story of war stuff, and then it's like, well, that building never actually exploded, but because Michael Bay was the producer of it, it had to explode.
Sure.
And it's like, you really over dramatize this, and it feels like this is very clean. Small scale when it needed to be, and it was only large if it was needed to get to a certain point. Or something.
I think most of the action sequences was like, do I take the shot or not?
Yeah. So.
It thrived off the intensity of the situations.
Yeah, there's just tension throughout the whole.
Yeah.
I feel good choice. Yeah, Bradley Cooper really shines in this one.
Anyways, try and top that. Here, I'll go so I can I'll lessen the blow for you, Christine.
Lessen the blow for me. I know my film is good.
What did you pick?
Ex Machina.
Oh man, yeah, you guys, good choice. I think like, look, I'll still go and lessen the blow. I think Whiplash is an incredible movie.
I love that movie.
As a movie compared to American Sniper, maybe it's a great story as a story, but like as a movie, I think Whiplash is just so intense, and just like the passion of a single. Like, if you want your dream, how hard are you going to work for it? Are you going to bleed for it? Are you going to put in the hours for it? Are you going to put up with J. Jonah Jameson yelling at your face?
Yeah.
I think this is, and I'm not saying this just to win points, I think this is honestly one of the greatest movies of all time. I think it is, without a doubt, at least top 50. And I think it's that high on IMDb. I think it is a great character piece. I think it is a great acting piece. I think it's so intense. I gripped by this movie. I think the other, like, I don't know, what is this, 4 months ago now, but like I ordered a pizza, and I went and I picked up a pizza, and then my boy Nikki K was there, and he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I got a pizza, and I'm gonna go home and watch Whiplash." And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put it on the background and maybe do some other stuff. I was so engrossed into this movie.
Yeah,
it captivates you. You cannot like tear your eyes off the screen. I think it is, not to sound like high and mighty, but it is why cinema is made. But like, this movie is so good. It's so good.
There you go.
It is very good, and the ending is so good. Like the end part, it's so good.
Not my 10.
It is a 43 on the IMDb top 250.
Ooh. Nice. To say it's the second highest of whoever chose any of the movies that we chose except for Interstellar. But
yeah, Interstellar's like in the 20s, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
It's 28.
On the worst movies. Let's tell them.
Oh, got him. Got the Razzie
All right.
for sucking.
Ex Machina. Take it away, Christine.
I really like this movie. I think it's great. I mean, I think it's, I wouldn't say fun. Fun is probably not the right word to choose. In this situation. But so it's A24, in case you didn't know.
No.
In case you were not aware.
This is
but
the beginning of A24, I think, right?
Yeah, it is. I think it's one of like their very first films, and I think it was the first one that really was like really, really popular and really like well acclaimed. And Oscar Isaac was kind of fairly unknown.
Cast for start to A24.
Yeah,
good for you guys.
Domhnall Gleeson, Alicia Vikander, like they had so many good people, and they all had really good performances. And it really makes you think in the way sci-fi movies make you think. And I just think it's a really good film, and I do think it's worth the watch. And I don't think it's as crazy and as out there as a lot of those A24 films where you're like, hold up.
Yeah, it's very, looking back at some of the A24s, like, let's just say, not to give Nick some PTSD, but Midsommar. Like, it is definitely, it's thought-provoking, like I think A24 is, but it is definitely like, it is enjoyable to, I think, more people, that it's just like, anyways, here's like just blood.
But it's not gonna like freak you out if you find like a hair in your suit.
Yeah. I think the acting is phenomenal. Oscar Isaac's best performance.
I think anything he does is fantastic.
Let's just say before he was Duke Leto, he was okay.
You didn't like the part where
he was wore jacket and he says, "You know what? I'm a pilot," and that's all he did.
You didn't like the part where he's like somehow.
I mean, he's the best looking pilot I've ever seen.
You don't like the part when he fills in the gap by saying somehow Palpatine has returned?
Somehow Alicia Vikander is a robot.
You didn't tell me you were a robot.
I think it's a very well contained movie. It's just these three people in a house, and like what comes from that, and like the thoughts of artificial intelligence, and the thoughts of like Silicon Valley execs who are like these high and mighty like developers. Like, what power do they have? They have so much money, but like, can they do whatever they want? So I don't know. I think there's a lot to that. So great choice. Sure.
Thank you for doing the review for me. I really appreciate that.
I just wanted to enhance it.
No, I think you're right. Thank you. I mean, it's true. I think it just is very thought provoking, and I tend to like more of these movies that are more thought provoking. 90% of the time.
Yes, fair. Okay.
Should we do horror thriller?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Christine, why don't you start us off with Gone Girl, correct?
Gone Girl's great. Kind of already talked about it when I picked it. Ben Affleck was great. Rosamund Pike was great. Neil Patrick Harris was great. Tyler Perry's great. It makes you think. The ending is good.
Share a common thread with my movie, which I'll make in a second. So go ahead.
What did you pick?
It Follows.
You know, maybe the monster in It Follows was in here.
Oh, the monster's inside.
Oh, don't worry, I'll make the connection. It's
he's gonna have a good time with that.
Yep. You go for it. You make that connection. I think this movie is so good. Like, you watch it and you're like, holy shit.
The director is
David Fincher.
There it is. Yep, 7 of 7 fame. Yep.
Insane.
Oh, I didn't know that. Anyway, I think this movie's great.
Yeah.
It's so like, and I didn't read the book, but I know it's based off of a book.
Okay. The other thing, Christine, you own this book.
I do.
And you lent it to me, which then I lent it to our mom, and so she read it.
I lent it to our mom. That's funny.
I mean, like, look, you can't go wrong with this pick. Like, are you kidding? Yeah, great choice.
And to be honest, like the ending somehow still being like, there's still a twist at the end that's still good too. Like the movie as a whole, it's just like, this girl is wild.
Yeah.
And then at the
And
very
then she
end,
just
you're like,
looks at you.
oh shit, she's like, hold my beer, I got more. And you're just like, oh my
You thought.
God, dude. This. Anyway.
Oh, it's great.
And then
It's
she's in the Wheel of Time series, and she's great. So anyway, just check it out.
I have to check that out. I don't know. See, when I go through all the movies on my list that I
have you
picked,
been watching it? Yeah. Oh, you don't like it?
you don't like it?
I can't get it. I
okay.
I want to read the book, but yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
You want to read all 12 of those books?
Oh yeah,
He's gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
My fiance has them all, so if you want them, so.
Oh, let's go.
He did them. Sorry, we could talk about this off air, but he did them like audio, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, cool.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well
But
done.
I was saying that of all the movies on my list of things, like when I go through them all, this is the one I'm most likely to rewatch. Like I actually want to watch it now that I'm talking about it. I'm like, I forgot how good this is.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's a fair point.
dang.
Well, Nick, what's the common thread between your two movies here?
I'm just saying, somebody has sex with you and then kills you.
I mean,
there's your common thread with Gone Girl, because that scene in Gone Girl is somehow scarier than the scene in It Follows.
Yeah.
And It Follows is so scary. I think at least in It Follows, it's like an alien, so I'm like, okay, it's kind of fine, and they're like flashing lights and stuff. In Gone Girl, it's like so methodical and scary, and it's Neil Patrick Harris, and it's just like, oh, my guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know which one's more uncomfortable to watch, but It Follows definitely as a whole is much more uncomfortable to watch, I would say. Yeah. It's a good concept. It's while on paper, I think like a pretty hard sell. I think I don't know how this movie got made, but this is the best version of what they pitched
That concept, yeah.
to do, with the idea that basically like the sins of your past are gonna, haunt you,
yeah.
unless you can send some more and then make people deal with your sins, I guess.
No, I think it is. It's a combination of that, but also like a I can't think of the word, but a confrontation of your sins, almost.
Oh,
in a way.
true. Yeah, you have to come face to face with it. But what's wild is that there is kind of an out temporarily through doing something that, like, I don't know,
will hurt someone else.
Hurt someone else. And that's what's wild is like, ugh.
But how long can you do that? Like, how long can you do that? Until,
and
like,
you're
it
always
gets
going to be
you?
looking over your shoulder because you don't know if it got your previous person yet. So
I think
it's wild.
I think, as we've probably said before on this podcast, I think it's one of the greatest horror movies of the past few years, except for maybe the movie I'm going to talk about. But I think the part of It Follows is only you can see the monster. And it follows you literally throughout, and it just like slowly walks towards you. So there's a scene where like there's the character is looking at, and this is not a spoiler, but the shot is her at a desk, and you can see a window behind her, and you can see a person slowly walking towards you through like this courtyard, and it's just so chilling because it's just like, you don't know what the monster is. It can take the form of anybody. And so to me, it's just like, oh, it can be anyone who's walking. Like
that scene was pretty good, but honestly, the scariest one for me is they are pulling out of their driveway, and there's just this like large naked old man on the roof. It's like, oh shit, it's there.
Man, I need to finally watch this movie.
This movie is great.
That's the part where you're just like, oh no. Or the beach scene where everything's fine, and then
it just happens. And that's the whole point. Yeah. So like, only you can see this monster. So if you're like, oh, do you see this person over there? And they're like, no. It's like, okay, it's the monster.
Yeah.
But if you're in a crowd of people and someone's walking towards you, you won't be like, oh, is that the monster?
And the irony of it all, which I enjoy this, is like typically your classic like horror film is trying to sneak in like nudity and sex to kind of be like, come watch this movie. This movie's literally all about it, and you don't really have to deal with it that much. Like it's not like an uncomfortable watch to be like, oh great, so this is just like House Party 5 but a horror movie or whatever. It's like no, like they use the gimmick, but it's not like
to the results, and that's
like it's about the horror that comes from that, not
the actual
not
act.
necessarily the scenes.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like you're watching like pornography horror, you know, or whatever. So it's like that's what I've.
It's very strict
because when you pitch the movie, I'm just like, this will be a tricky watch. I think.
No,
like,
I don't think there's very hardly any nudity in the movie at all.
Yeah, there isn't at all.
So I think I enjoy it for that as well. I do think that the ending is not particularly great. Maybe ask me in an hour if I still think that, but I think that it does feel like, oh, hey, we did it. Yeah. But like,
well, my favorite part of the whole film is that the protagonist chooses to pass it on finally.
Right.
And she chooses she has like a friend, and then she kind of has like the jock guy, and she chooses the jock guy. And the best part of the whole thing is the like friends kind of like, look, I get like when you have sex with him, like the monster's gonna chase him, but like, well, you're like, yo, why didn't you like choose me? I'm your friend. It's like, oh, I don't know, because you're gonna get murdered, dog. Like, of course I'm gonna give it to the hot jock guy.
Her, yeah.
You know, just like, but of course,
it's like, I wanted you to sleep with me.
I like slept with you though.
Yeah, but like,
damn.
I think you're really cute.
I'm just like, yes, of course.
Teenagers.
Like the teenage boys, like, why didn't you sleep with me? It's like, have you watched anything that's happened so far, dude? You don't want none of this smoke, dude. Anyway, what a movie.
Anyways, my movie Babadook, I think, is better than It Follows, and
truly,
and Gone Girl.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Is it really though?
For my defense, I think Babadook. It's has anyone seen it?
No, because no one's gonna see a movie called Babadook.
I mean, I did.
It's like this child. It's like this childhood story about this Babadook, and it goes duk, 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 and it's like it like knocks on the door and like terrifies you. It's about like grief. It's about like loss. It's about this. It's a single mother and this child, and it's like it's complicated.
Check it out.
Yeah, I think it's this complicated story. Maybe not because you're having a kid, but like it's this complicated story about like this child, I guess, being a burden to the mother.
Anyway, good one to watch. You know,
yeah,
when you're about to have a kid
in like a month.
Don't worry about it. Just watch it.
I think how it resolves is like it's not just resolved. It's like, oh, maybe there's something more to it, and I don't want to say too much spoilery, but I think there is more to this movie. And I just don't think people give it the credit or see it, or even know about it. Yeah,
fair enough.
But
that's definitely the reason I haven't watched it.
I think it is genuinely terrifying.
Yeah, the people who have seen it, they love it. So, but it hasn't been seen by that many people.
I think I get it mixed up with not Insidious, but like there's like another
Conjuring stuff.
There's like another boogeyman movie that's kind of called something similar to the Babadook. You know, it's just like
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
this is a it's not like it is not like a Ouija board, whatever. I think it is like a to say A24 vibe of the movie, but not to the extent of like Midsommar. It's like it's Hereditary-ish.
I mean, I would
feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think it's great. I really do think it's great. I think it has less flaws in it. I think it is a cleaner movie than It Follows.
Then why were you mad at me when I picked It Follows?
Because I do enjoy that movie more, but I think it is a cleaner movie.
The truth comes out.
I hate you.
You can't be mad at me.
Let's move on.
You picked a better movie.
Michael's just having a bad time with this year specifically and wants to restart the whole thing.
Rolled a die. I'm sorry.
I rolled a 1. I'm sorry. And I rolled a 1.
And it wasn't golf rules, so.
Yeah. Oh, we should actually. Let's start it all over.
Let's do a rule where just Michael gets to just do his pick first.
Yeah, I get to pick all 6 of my movies, and then you guys go after me.
Fair enough.
I just think this year, overall, I think has great movies. And looking back at the list, I'm like, wow, I really love a lot of these movies.
Yeah, I think that's why like we're making arguments, but at the same time, it's okay. You picked a good team.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You picked a good team too. Okay. Like it wasn't. Was it the last time you were on with us, Christine? That it was like there's 3 good movies, and the rest are just
garbage.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, so it was like we had to fight for it, and it was like if you could get one or two of those, game over. But this feels like a year where it's like you're not hurting as bad if oh no,
because like
my movies got picked. You still had 8 good choices.
I
right
like this list. Yeah, I do. I think I still have a really solid list. There's movies that I love on my list, and I'm sure there's movies. Well, speaking of movies that Nick doesn't love, let's move on to sequels. I need to talk about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and defend it for just a moment.
Do it.
All right,
dude. Why do you not?
Michael
like this movie?
loves this movie. He loves this.
I think it is like.
Describe to me what happens in this one.
Okay, so end of the first one, Caesar, Mr. Big Old Ape.
Yep, couldn't quite talk. He says no, and it's like,
he says no, but now he's like a whole society develops with him and some of the other apes.
Because at the end of the first one.
But has everyone seen all the originals?
I have. Have you seen the old Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, but I couldn't figure out how they got the actual the monkeys to ride the horses. How did they do that?
So there is a time jump between this. Oh, okay, sorry. Are you actually making a joke? Because yes, they do. Monkeys do ride apes. Or wait,
apes ride horses, Michael.
Yeah, so
the apes do ride
there were
monkeys.
Actors in Planet of the Apes, but then there were these monkeys that also rode horses. I'm just like, how did they do that?
Because they got smarter. Because the disease makes them smarter.
Got it. All right.
Or this
my joke's not landing.
It's not landing.
Because there's actors who play the monkeys.
You're just being a doo-doo face?
Okay.
That's fine. Okay. Anyway, so the disease spreads, and
it kills humans, but it makes the apes smarter.
Correct.
And so this whole civilization,
you basically have to be immune to survive at this point, right?
Yeah. So all the
everything.
Yes. Okay. Yes. All the humans that are alive now are immune to this disease.
And this is the one with Gary Oldman.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I just think yes. So they go up.
And who's the other protagonist?
Aaron Clark or not Clark? Is it Aaron Clark?
It's Jason Clark.
Jason Clark.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Everest, and he was he was the new
Zero Dark 30.
John Carter.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that this movie is the human characters are not the forefront of this movie. It is Caesar. It is beautifully animated. It looks like a real ape you're looking at. Yeah. And I think there's a huge tension between Caesar and these other factions. There's factions that form through these other apes, and I think there's way more heart to this movie than it is just an action movie. It's not. I don't think it's just an action movie. I think it builds off the original. I think it is the best of this modern trilogy, and I think it is a political drama that somehow involves apes and humans, and what is humanity and what is there's a moment with certain characters where there's betrayal and there's setup and there's so much more character to this movie that I just don't know how you did not get when you watched this movie.
Michael is offended.
I'll rewatch it.
Cool.
Okay.
I really enjoy this movie.
My mind is open.
Okay. If Christine can watch Interstellar again, you can watch.
Yeah, I said I'm open. I'm gonna rewatch it. I said I was gonna do it. Yeah.
Not us.
Not us. United.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I do personally like this film. I think it's a good film.
Michael.
It still doesn't distract me from why I picked the best sequel out of all of us. Captain America to some is bottom tier Marvel. For me, it's a lot higher. I think the first Captain America is one of the best origins that we have in the MCU. But it definitely succeeded at being a way better sequel, but also Cap's how about I just take the brunt of the storytelling and everyone else just gets to have a fun movie. And then also weaving together his. It's funny because people make fun of him as though his boyfriend's Bucky, because that is kind of his love interest arc, because he can't get Peggy obviously because dead or super old because he got froze for so long.
You know how it is. He got froze.
And it's just a movie about friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It's very well written. Some argue like Civil War kind of feels like an Avengers-y movie. So this feels like the only time that there's like been a really well-written solo Captain America. Well, yeah, but like just a kind of like a solo hero movie. And so I think it's top tier Marvel. And it's but it lays a lot of groundwork, just kind of like because he does a lot of the heavy lifting. Like basically Iron Man went on to finish his trilogy, but it amounted to nothing, right? You know, Thor went on to have the second Thor. We all know how that went. Like, and
very
Captain
poorly.
America has this amazing second movie. It introduces a bunch of new characters. It literally flips S.H.I.E.L.D. on its back, and it's like, oh, guess what? You know the very thing that S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't? It is. It is Hydra. Like, the whole thing is Hydra. They're everywhere. It's like a secret invasion movie on top of just a sequel, on top of, oh, guess what? Bucky's also alive. And also we have to like pave the way of creating new heroes. And so we get the Falcon. We get,
you get more Black Widow.
You do get more Black Widow. That's right. And there's this like
helping him.
I'm just adding, he was looking for the word.
And you also finally get a chance to breathe with Captain America. Captain America basically was like unfroze. It's like, now go kick ass. And so now he's kind of like lived in the world a little bit. He's kind of bouncing back. And it's just overall really solid. And it's the start of the Russos' like just iconic, trail of films that they did. So
yeah, but it's not your favorite Marvel movie. So anyways, we can move on from that.
That's your argument against me. I have 1 year to choose from.
Yeah, but let's just say you like Spider-Man Far From Home better.
Well, in 2014, it's not your favorite, so got him. You're the worst.
I mean, neither of your movies have dragons, and dragons are obviously better.
Right. You're right. Man, let's just say we all picked really good movies that we all really like.
Because my movie has dragons, and lots of dragons.
Lots of dragons.
Touché. You have a fire-breathing lizard and dragons in both of your picks. You really like the monsters.
Yeah.
I really, you know what? I really do. I like popcorn movies. I think I've come to terms with this.
Where do you think fire-breathing reptiles is like resonating with you? Where does that come from? An Olive Garden thing?
Once you hit Olive Garden, you just,
It was all those Gila monsters in the desert when I was little, I was just like...
That's true.
There it is. Bring it back.
That's
poisonous, yeah.
So, is this your guys' favorite of the trilogy?
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. Is that because it's willing to go dark?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is for me.
That was my favorite part about it too. A lot of people were like, how could you? Like, I was like, this is the best like Disney needs to take a lesson from this and be like, guess what? You don't have to kill the parents in the first act of the movie off screen. You could do it as like a crux of like transformation of a character in the middle of the second movie.
It's so heartbreaking and so and
I think it's shocking. Yeah,
it's super shocking. I mean, this to me was the best animated movie of the year, even though I have the one that actually won the Oscar as well. But to me, this movie is so much better than most of the movies that Disney puts out. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, this is one of those where like it's so far up that even like just your classic like Disney fill in the blank just can't touch it just because it's Disney.
Wait, what was the movie that won the Oscar for animated?
It was Big Hero 6.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I think this is a far better movie than Big Hero 6.
Dang, I do like Big Hero 6.
Yeah, I think this has a depth to it, and
it has emotion.
I think spoilers. I'm just gonna say spoilers because the best part of the movie is like the reuniting of the parents.
Sure.
Oh, and then Stoic dies. Oh,
Butler. Oh. my Phantom of the Opera.
You're as beautiful as the day I lost you.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, it's so good. It's just so emotional.
Yeah. Oh, I love this movie.
And by Toothless, nonetheless, which is wild.
Oh, yeah. But then, like, Hiccups forgives him. Oh, there's so much to this. There's so much to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many layers.
Well, and they finally did, like, the cool lore of, like, what's up with these dragons? Like, who answers to them, or what do they answer to? And you finally kind of get an answer. It's like, there's this, like, alpha dragon, which I think was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was good.
I did like all the lore they added into it. I'm not a big fan of the third one, but I really think the first two are really good together. And there's really good high quality films in general.
Yeah. I would definitely agree. The first two are great. The third one feels like a retread of the second one, but then that last 15 minutes of the third one,
it is good.
Oh, makes you feel things.
Let's just say
I definitely cried in How to Train Your Dragon 2, for sure.
Someone's crying in the theater.
Well, and the hard part about the second one is you finally reach a point where there's trust, and it's like, we can ally with the dragons. And then that, like, the thing that kills Stoic is a dragon. The thing he feared would happen to him
happened.
But so they do it. I think I handle it very well, but it's like they were just about to trust, like, that this could work, you know? Like, they were there. It's a good movie.
It's great.
Good movie.
Yeah. Good choice.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up with our wild card picks. Nick, what was your wild card pick?
Mine was Kingsman. I feel like it very much is a wild card movie. Like, it's not the movie you expected to be one that would stick out to you. I think like it by definition looks like, is it trying to be James Bond? Is it trying to be Austin Powers? And it's like, no, it's threading the needle of, like, what if the action could still be better? Well, yeah, it probably is slightly better than most James Bond movies, just because of how quick and stuff.
I would agree, yeah.
But, like, what if it could have that polish, but still be like a comedy and like be able to kind of play in that, and not just be blatantly like Austin Powers, which was, you know, wild.
Yeah.
And so you have this, like, just really cool combination of, like, a tailor shop that has been around forever, and you find out that it's a secret organization that protects people, and they're all over the globe. And this was Taron Egerton's, like, big breakthrough role, and that guy can go places as well. That guy was another, probably, like, could have been Peter Parker as well. Like, they're all kind of in that
an older Peter Parker,
like Dylan O'Brien kind of thing too. Like, they're just, this is their generation, so it's just who got what role and what. So, but no, Taron Egerton ended up becoming like one of my faves from this movie, and then went on to make like Eddie the Eagle, which I really liked. That's right.
Which I believe you picked for a different category.
I think I might have picked it as a wild card in one of our other ones. But
you did, yeah.
But no, I really enjoy this movie. Colin Firth's amazing.
Yeah.
Mark Strong solid, and Michael Caine is also in this movie.
Classic English gentleman.
He has enough lines to, you know, basically make up the size of a tangerine. Yeah. Samuel
no
Jackson.
One's getting these jokes, dude.
Samuel Jackson as the just crazy villain.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's over the top, but believable. It's wild.
Yeah, it really strides that line there.
Like, somebody literally gets cut in half in this movie.
Yeah, and there's like
literally,
literally. And then there's the bodyguard is this lady with swords as her legs. Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah,
it's so extreme that it works. Like, it's like, so out there that it's like,
that's the James Bond parody of it all, and it takes it even almost further than like Austin Powers ever did. But the action sequences are still so good that you're just like, oh, it's the best of both worlds. Like, you know, it's not just the silly hairy man running around being an idiot. It's like, no, these guys are capable, and there actually is very serious action sequences, but it's also funny. So,
yeah, it's a good choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, good choice.
Christine, tell us about Big Old Hero 6, Baymax, and other characters that are in that movie.
Baymax is the best.
Stan Lee's in it.
And It's just a really good, like, it does the Disney formula where they kill someone right off the bat.
It do give you a little more time with them, but
they give you a little bit more time, and I think they do a good job of making you feel what the main character is feeling. And I just really enjoy, like, I feel like it's very fun in a lighthearted way, where sometimes these superhero movies can be super intense. Like every DC movie is really intense and really dark and gritty, and it's nice to just have one where it's like, okay, this is fun. And Baymax is really cute. And it was just like, it was a good surprise, even though it is based off of like a Marvel concept. So,
yeah, it is a comic book, right?
I thought so.
Mm-hmm. It is made it's in a fictional world though. Like it's not in the, I don't think,
MCU. No,
because it's in a town called like San Francisco, isn't it?
San Francisco, yeah.
San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's obviously its own unique universe, but yeah, it's like Kids Avengers.
Yeah.
So my favorite, I think it's fun. I just don't think it's like, if I were to pick like my favorite animated movies even of this year, I don't think it would make that list.
Well, you had the Lego movie.
I think Lego movie is higher. I think we haven't gone into honorable mentions, but we'll get into some of those after this. But yeah, I just don't think. Yeah, I think there is that emotional punch with Baymax at the end, but ultimately, it doesn't mean anything because he just comes back. So I think like I think it is fun. I don't think it is like wow. It's groundbreaking. It's great. But it is a fun time. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, in Christine's defense, I do feel like this is one of those that, because they don't do the killing off of the I don't know what Disney's obsession is with killing parents or loved one. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, like the emotional.
But they do it in everything.
It is, yeah. And so you get a chance to really fall in love with his brother Tadashi, and the truth is, this is like, he copes with grief by basically making a team of Avengers without properly grieving yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then it still catches up to you. And so it is a movie that's ultimately like teaching you, like, grief has to be like, you have to flow through it at some point. You can't escape it.
Well, I mean, the main villain too is like, he's dealing with his grief.
They're both. Yeah. So I think like it might be a little more by the books, but I think there is such a creative twist on like how each character does their own thing that I think it differentiates itself from arguably kind of the main Disney formula somewhat. So, because I mean, there is a guy who just literally has like this weird dragon suit on, and this lady who throws like gumballs and freaks. It's like this.
It's just different. Yeah. Their powers
like
are a little bit different.
I feel like it's Incredibles level, kind of like. What?
I love Incredibles. Sorry, I'm making a face at Nick that's saying like Incredibles is my favorite Pixar movie of all time, and to compare this to Incredibles.
Yeah,
but like,
I mean,
this
over Inside Out.
It's those two, Inside Out and Incredibles. Yeah. It's one of those two.
I was about to say.
Yeah. I think it shouldn't be slept on as like a good, solid superhero Disney movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but there's also not a whole lot of this. So anyway, continue.
All right. Your turn, Michael. What do you got?
Hey, last but not least, I have Edge of Tomorrow. Tommy Cruise is Emily Blunt are having a good time on a beach, and
over and over and
over again.
I did not think this movie was going to be good.
Yeah,
and then it was.
And then it was like one of the greatest sci-fi movies of the year. So
it was super good.
I kind of wish they got to the point a little faster, though. There's only so many times you can, like.
I can see that, but for me, like, I think it was paced fairly well. I think I enjoyed I'm a sucker for repeating days. I'm a sucker for Groundhog Day, a New Palm Spring that came out recently. Yep. I'm a sucker.
I've not seen that yet.
Gives you a whole new perspective on that too. You're just like, whoa, I'm also in this movie.
I'm also repeating everything.
Whoa, I got coffee at the same time again.
Yeah. So I just think it's very, yes, it is based off of a comic, but I think it is still very inventive. I think it's I think it's just like really interesting. I love like revisiting, and you see how like this. He's not in the beginning. Tom Cruise isn't the typical Tom Cruise character. He's a coward. He's not a hero, and he becomes the typical Tom Cruise hero character. And Emily Blunt crushes it.
So good.
So I think there's just a really great draw to this movie that is very exciting and interesting, and I think Tom Cruise takes a journey that like isn't normally seen with a Tom Cruise character, where it's like he's kind of this like deserter, and he becomes this sacrificial like, oh, I want to be better, I want to be Mr. the Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible.
And growing up like playing video games,
it feels like that.
It does, and you're like, oh no, my life count's finally running out. Like retention, you can feel that when you're like, hey, I think this is pretty close to like our last respawn. And it's like,
Live, die, repeat.
Yes, alternative title to Edge of Tomorrow is Live, Die, Repeat. I think this movie, it wasn't marketed super well in theaters, but I think it has found a market in the post theaters. So I think a lot of people have found this movie and have enjoyed this movie. I think this is really, really fun. I mean, I don't have to sell a Tom Cruise movie to you, Nick, but this is great. This is a great movie.
Yes, and this is maybe the only one where I don't like feel horrible about not getting the movie, because typically I'm just like, oh, Tom Cruise, I need to get that movie because usually it's the best action movie that year. But I had to do my sister justice. This draft, so I did what I could.
Shout out Kenzie.
Yep.
Great. Well, those are our lists. I think let's wrap it up with some honorable mentions.
Sure.
Christine, do you have any ones that you didn't get to that were on your list?
I mentioned Maze Runner, but I also really liked Nightcrawler from this year.
Great choice. Also on my list.
Yeah, that one was really, really good. There was a lot of really good dramas this year. Really good dramas.
Yeah, I mean, the Oscar winner, Birdman, was not selected.
Yeah, I had that on my list.
Nick gives it
F- canceled.
Don't like it? Why?
Not a fan.
I think it's at least interesting and good, and I like the
the one shot is
the one shot is very cool, and Michael Keaton doing Batman, right?
Yeah.
I think it is acting. It's acting on a screen, basically.
It's essentially, it's a play, and they're in acting class, and it's very much a artist movie. I would feel like,
I don't know. Like the campaign for it was just like, it just felt like it was so overhyped. It was like, do not miss the career-defining performance by Michael Keaton. It was like, I don't know. Like, it was solid, but like, okay. Like, I don't think this was it, Like, I think he's done a lot of great things, too, but I'm not going to remember him for Birdman.
I don't know. I think he had a renaissance in a way. Renaissance. Let's just say, let's get nuts. So, yeah, I think Birdman's. I think it's really good. Yes, it is a little artistic-y, artsy-fartsy in a way, but I think it does very well. Another in the drama category was Selma.
Yep,
that's true. Yep.
Great movie. They also had Theory of Everything.
Another movie.
Imitation Game came out this year too.
Yeah, Imitation Game was good. Another drama would have been Fury that I picked.
I had that. I almost picked it for action.
War movies, so I just was like American Sniper, but Fury, dude, that was really good.
Yeah, a lot of these are like right on the edge for me of like, I kind of want to pick these ones, but they're like right at the threshold.
I mean, I also had The Fault in Our Stars.
I love that movie. Oh, I love that movie. I wrote a paper on that movie in college because of you, Christine. You showed me that movie.
Oh, thank you.
I had to
You're
write a
welcome.
paper for my
Do you feel
college
like
class.
It's a top movie or it's a favorite movie?
It's a favorite movie for me.
It's a favorite movie.
Yeah. It is definitely teen drama.
It's a little guilty pleasure.
It is a guilty pleasure, definitely. Not
as much as The Maze Runner.
Those, like, Nick can't sleep, so I need to watch my sad movie.
Yep. Oh, I'm bawling my ass out of that movie.
Girl with cancer, let's get it.
Let's just say some infinities are bigger than other infinities, and I'm crying at first.
Sad. Another movie you might not have heard about, but should definitely watch, like I really recommend it. This is a very solid movie, and it's on the heels of like, why is he even making this movie right now? But it's called The Judge with Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
And,
I heard of it. Yeah.
Excellent film. Can't
Yeah.
recommend it enough. It's very good.
Cool.
But it's just like, this was one of his like, hey, I've got like a summer off that I'm not making Iron Man 14. What are your thoughts? And this is what he made.
Speaking of summer offs for Marvel people, Chef
as well. That's a good one.
With
never saw that one. Yeah.
For a quick second.
For a hot second.
John Favreau.
Yeah, John Favreau.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a John Favreau passion project where he's like, I have enough money to make this now.
The whole thing's believable except for him getting to sleep with Scarlett Johansson. That's
right. And being
everything but that.
To the girl from Modern Family.
Sofia Vergara?
Yeah.
Both
Sofia Vergara. Like, dude, come on. Like, I know you've got good professional relationships.
I'm having a relationship with super hot women. So it's like,
you might have a great personality, but no way in hell.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, my boy John Favreau.
25.
An excellent comedy that could have been a sequel pick would have been 22 Jump Street.
I wasn't a big fan of that one.
I like the first one far more.
Oh, the first one's great. Yeah, I'm just saying if you're stretching for it. I'm trying to think of other sequels.
That was like my backup comedy.
Yeah. The Judge, I already said. This was one of the years that actually had one of those Liam Neeson films that was like good after Taken 1. It's called
2 and 3?
The Tombstones.
Oh, right. Yes.
This one's like way darker, so it's not just like, guess what? She's been taken, and guess what? You have to get her. It's like
my tombstone
actually a different plot, and it's pretty good. And you have Foxcatcher in there. That's not for everyone, but that's a pretty good drama, I think.
Yeah, Christina owns that movie.
Yep. And never watched it.
Yeah, exactly.
The last movie I'll recommend, this one I just really, really love, is called Winter's Tale. Colin Farrell. It's kind of a holiday romance story. He falls in love with a girl, but she can't. She has like this illness that like, I don't know how to explain. I don't know what it's called, but like essentially like she is very prone to getting like a fever, and if her fever gets too high, she basically dies.
Okay.
And so she has to like avoid a lot of personal contact and stuff because even just like being close to somebody heats up her body and stuff. Yeah. And so, in losing her, stuff happens, magic, blah blah blah, crazy story ensues, and I'll just leave it at that. But there's a really neat. It's just this neat little holiday, and since you like feel things, and like a movie can be like bad, and as long as you feel things, you like say it's good. You'll like this movie. You could be like, dude, this is garbage. This doesn't even make sense.
But I cried at the end.
Oh boy, I cried. So it's great.
Yep,
it feels like
that's
good
me in a
Michael
nutshell.
Movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Christine, do you have any more recommendations? I have a few.
No, I got none. I didn't see as much movies this year. Like, I know I saw quite a few. Like, I saw Pompeii, which was also on 2014.
And they missed the perfect opportunity because that was when the song came out, and they didn't play it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Pompeii...
came off, could you imagine? Everyone's like running for their lives. Like, oh, it would have been perfect.
Oh, great song. Horrible movie, apparently.
I mean...
Harrington?
Yeah.
Sutherland?
Really?
Woo.
Dang.
I mean, it was another one of those disaster movies, you know?
Oh, yeah. It was good for what it was trying to do.
Yeah. It was exactly what it was supposed to be.
It missed the mark by not playing that song. Because it was like, dude,
but did the song come out before or after?
Just barely.
They could have thrown
it in there.
They were like, we didn't coordinate this. We need to work on our coordination.
That was a travesty. Because, dude, I mean, I understand when the volcano goes off, you don't want to like rave, but I did. I was like, let's go. Anyway.
Cool. I'll wrap it up with a few more recommendations. I do enjoy Days of Future Past. I think it is my favorite X-Men movie.
Interesting.
And I'm going to throw that out there, and Nick is going to disagree with me.
I'm not an X-Men person, so.
Because you said it wasn't?
Because you already said so.
But
okay,
like
X-Men or X-Men characters. Is this better than Logan?
I think X-Men Ensemble with 100%.
Yeah, okay.
Logan, I think, is better than this. Yeah,
Yeah, I still give the slight to First Class.
Yeah,
but Days of Future Past.
They're right up there. I think there's a lot going on here that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. But it does do the time travel where
nothing matters.
Kind of erases a lot of stuff happening.
But like, did it matter at all? Because all the X-Men don't matter. Like, timeline does not matter.
I guess, but like, the reason it was cool is it brought in the old stuff just to say none of the old stuff happened. And that kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
Right, but I don't think it really existed in the first place in these universes. Like, half of them don't matter, half of them do, and then it does matter. Then they do matter, but then it doesn't matter. Sure. So I think that the X-Men timeline is really flimsy, and this just doesn't...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's not as strict as like the MCU.
That's fair. Okay.
A few lesser known hits, I think. Boyhood, we didn't talk about.
We did not talk about that one. Yeah.
A movie filmed literally over 14 years.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Or something like that. 18 years or something. So I think
it could suck, and it still has to be.
I think it does fail where it's like they kind of bet all their chips on this one kid.
On the gimmick.
On the gimmick. And does it pan out? No. And is there a huge emotional hit at the end? Yeah, I mean, kind of. But that's kind of like, the whole point is like, it's kind of life where it's just kind of like, oh, I'll go off to college now, and that's it. So I enjoy it. I think it's fun. Is it the greatest movie of the year? No, but I think, the idea of it is cool.
There are certain things, though, that you just need to watch because, like, damn, that was pretty dope. Like, I think we would recommend, and don't get me wrong, 1917 is
dope,
top tier.
Yeah.
But there's some things that they also just do in that film that you're like, dude, you got to watch this movie. They do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But it also happens to just be dope.
Yeah.
Like,
that's where it's both is good. But this one's like, hey, the cinema is like, wow.
Yeah. Let's say the acting sucks in 1917. You still have to watch it.
Yeah.
But the acting doesn't suck in 1917. So anyway, go watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Two more. I have this movie called 99 Homes, which is with Andy Garfield. My boy Andrew Gargar and Michael Shannon.
Okay.
Let's just say they act their butts off and they're in Florida.
Okay.
So I think that's on the Amazon
I'm watching
still.
right after we get done with it.
I think it's very good. I think it's really, really interesting. And lastly, I think one of the almost right below Lego Movie of animated films of the year is a movie called Song of the Sea.
Oh, I never saw that one.
I don't think anyone's heard of that movie, but if I was a kid and I was watching this animated movie, it would probably be my favorite movie of all time.
Ow.
It would be Christine. It would be the Atlantis of our childhood if we watched if this came out during our childhood.
I love me some Atlantis.
You do love
we love our Atlantis. So I think don't sleep on this movie. I think it even like as an adult, Song of the Sea. I think it is as an adult. I'm like, wow, there's a heart to this movie. It's stunning. Let's just say stunning. And this girl goes on an adventure, and I think it's just a joy. I really do.
Lovely.
So that's
love good animation.
It was an insane year. I mean, that's why this podcast lasted so long. Is because these aren't just movies that were like, we have to pick them because we did this year. The reason why this one I think lasted as long as it did is we all have a reason to pick the movie we picked, and it wasn't because you picked the other two, so I had to pick this one. Anyway,
there weren't any clear favorites, like
exactly. Yeah, there's no wrong picks here, so I'm actually like interested to see who would vote for who because it does truly feel kind of up for. I'm happy with my team, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's highs and lows.
There's too many.
Yeah, I think there's too many great movies. There's not like you picked one movie and I'm going off that one.
Yeah, but it's beautiful to look back at some of these years and you're just like, damn, nice job. Like, because Hollywood's at most, it feels like there's like 20 good movies a year.
I think this was the year that had the most movies that I would be comfortable picking. Like there's the most like breadth of field. The field of play in this year was really strong.
Yeah, and honestly, all of us except for like a pick or two would recommend every single film we all picked too.
Right.
Like none of us are like saying like stupid.
Yeah.
Like they're like,
Yeah.
great movie, great movie, great movie.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Definitive one.
Yeah.
Good
So we need your
choices.
help, people. We need you to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know you keep clamoring. You're like, hey, make these episodes.
I'm getting at least
Do the
one
draft
email.
again. We love listening to you guys for this long. It's like, okay, well, we did it. Now we need you to vote, okay? Anyway.
Well, you may have heard of people talk about movies. Maybe people talk about the year of 2014. Maybe talk about why they don't like Interstellar.
Maybe.
Well, you haven't heard from us. Not Us United.
Boom. No, you have not. Now you have.
Thank you for listening.
Let's go.
Bye-bye now.
Well done.
You've just listened to Not Us United. You can find us under Not Us United on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Please leave us a review and consider subscribing to our podcast. You can reach out for future podcast topic suggestions at NotUsUnitedPod@gmail.com.